Hello YouTube, and today we're going to start putting the Mustang back together. Now that we got the cylinder heads cleaned up and painted black, we're going to mess around with the conversion kit for the rockers. I got the old ones off, so now it's time to see how these new ones install. So when I put the cylinder heads on, I can put those nice roller tip rockers. As you can see here, we got the crane cams rocker arm stud conversion kit installed. Now I just can't wait to get these heads on the Fox body. Put my 1.7 roller tip rockers on there and see if it makes any kind of difference. The heads have had a little bit of work done to them. Gasket matched on the intake, a little bit of porting on the exhaust. With these just cheap shorty headers, and the exhaust I already have on there should flow pretty good. Get a little bit of a gain. And then the GT40 intake, well, that will outflow these heads, so I know we're good there for a bit. Maybe later on down the road, maybe we'll get my GT40 heads redone, and we'll swap those on and see if that does anything. So first, we're going to finish installing my little shorty headers. Nothing really fancy. Something you can get off of eBay or whatever, but for a little bit over $100, can't really complain. And I'm sure they'll flow a lot better than the stock tubular manifolds. Pretty restrictive. Not very big pipe diameter, and when they come out at the collector, you know, not the best either. Now my car had some backfiring through the exhaust. I thought it was the EGR tube. Ended up my manifold was broken. That's a pretty big crack. So, with my headers and the exhaust being fixed, should have no more of that backfiring through the exhaust, so it'll sound a little bit better on deceleration. So as you can see, we're slowly starting to put it back together. I got my valve covers painted red. They're just sitting on there. Just see what it looks like. For now, we're going to take everything off the old intake, reinstall it all on this one. The injectors, sensors, all that good stuff. A little bit at a time, but she'll slowly get back together. Now I got everything stripped off my factory intake. I got it all here on the bench now. Got my fuel rails, my temp sensor, my air intake sensor. The one that was in my car is pretty gunged up, or whatever you want to call it. It's all looks like full of carbon from the exhaust or whatever. So instead of using that one, I'm going to use the one that I pulled out of the Explorer intake. It's a little bit cleaner, so I'll use that one. And then I got my stock 19-pound injectors, which I'm going to run. I was going to run the 19-pound Ford Explorer injectors. They also have 4 holes that injects the fuel instead of the one, so it's supposed to be a little bit better, but I messed up one injector. So I'm not going to use those for now, and I'm going to gotta get a seal kit for it and everything. So I'm going to use my stock injectors. I got my stock fuel rail, wiring harness for my intake. Later on I might upgrade my fuel rail, but at this point in time it's not really needed. I'm still running the stock fuel pump also, so 19-pound injectors, it'll work just as good as it did before. So that's what we're going to install next. Now, since I still got a broken bolt that holds the water pump, I'm waiting for a buddy to come over and help me. We're going to do a few other things. We're going to put the MSD coil in. We're going to change the spark plug wire to the Excel so it matches the other ones. We'll gap the plugs and put them back in. And we'll put the wires and everything back on, so that's all done. We'll wire up the injectors and put the fuel lines back on. That's what we're doing today. So this is my MSD coil I'm installing. Just a Ford replacement. Part number 8227. Should be a little bit better than the stock one that's been in there for almost 30 years. So we'll get that installed. Old dirty stock Ford coil. Pretty new MSD coil. So pretty and red. Oh, she's almost ready to start. Put the AC condenser on, or AC compressor, sorry. Put the rad in, put the intake on, plug in a few more hoses and wire plugs, and Ready to fire up and see if I did a good job on this thing. Well, she's almost completely back together. Fill her up with some antifreeze. Put the fender well intake on. Make sure everything's tight and good to go. Prime the fuel system. And I think we're going to be firing her up. So I'm just going to mix the antifreeze 50-50 and see what happens.
The moment we've been waiting for.
Ready, Kate?
Yes. Was that supposed to happen? Why does it keep doing that? There's a lot of smoke, babe.
Yep. You're gonna get smoke because my handprints on the headers.
Oh.
I gotta put the belt on them. I gotta get it up to running temperature, and I gotta get it. I was wondering why the fuck the alternator wasn't charging that. I said, oh yeah, that's right. I didn't put the belt on. And I need the belt on so I can fucking get it up to temperature so I can get the water pump to turn. And well, that's fucking good. That's the wrong fucking belt.
Uh-oh. Where'd you get the belt from?
It's the belt that I got you to pick me up.
Oh.
Well, way too fucking low.
What, so now what?
This is the stock one, so.
Oh, good thing you didn't cut it.
If this one doesn't fit, then it's because of that pin down there.
Because of what?
Because of the, I took out the air pump, right?
Right.
I put that idler pulley in. Yeah, look.
It doesn't fit.
There's something wrong. Something fucking wrong.
So now what? Can you cut and paste? Can't cut and paste?
But all I did was change that. Because all the dirt from my hand, all the oil from my hands on it, gotta burn it off.